what are the latest, greatest, favorite roller coasters in the world? Last May, Discovery.com asked viewers to email their recommendations for the world's top 10 coasters. The Raven,
Millennium Force,
the Beast,
Nitro,
Magnum, Ghost Rider.
And what separates an ordinary coaster from the cream of the coaster crop?
Top 10 coaster for me is the drop. I love the drop.
The drops, the dips, the G-force.
It just needs to be great fun. It needs to be, you know, have good speed, good change of direction.
Speed, sheer joy, and it scares you a little bit too.
You have to have a ride that never lets up.
You want to have that feeling when you get back into the brake run, you know, you're out of breath and you just want to run back and get back in line for it.
You want constant excitement for your 2 to 3 minute journey, and you want it all in a comfortable atmosphere. So you take all those elements and put them together, that's going to give you a top 10 coaster.
So, what are the results from our online poll? To find out just which 5 wooden and 5 steel coasters rose to the top, jump in and hold on to your lap bars. We're going to give you an in-depth look and take you on a thrilling ride aboard each of our top 10 online winners. First up, the number 5 wooden coaster on our list. Nestled in the forests of southern Indiana, it takes furious flight through the woods.
From the time you start down the drop, it's a crazy race to the finish. It's insanity.
The first time I got off of the Raven, I was shaken. I had to go sit down because I was just visibly shaken. It was such a good ride.
Stomach churning, brain rattling, butt gliding, beautiful. Every sense that you have ratcheted up to the billionth degree of pure fun.
Your fun becomes the Raven, located at Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. This family-owned park offers mild and wild thrill rides, as well as some very special perks, like free entrance to its water park.
We don't charge for parking, and believe it or not, we don't even charge for soft drinks. When you come to Holiday World, all the soft drinks all day long are free. I think that really makes it special.
Yeah! Because holidays rule in this theme park, the Raven finds its home in the Halloween area. Named after Edgar Allan Poe's poem, the Raven lifts riders 86 feet and flies them through the woods at upwards of 60 miles per hour along its 2,730-foot track.
What's incredible about it is just the wonderful feeling of flight. The curves never stop, there's virtually no straight sections on the track, and there's just wonderful amounts of airtime, that feeling where you're floating up out of your seat as you go over the hills. The pacing on the ride is incredible. It just continues to accelerate. It feels like you're going faster and faster and faster.
There's no let up. The intensity picks up so that halfway through this ride, you can't talk anymore. You're blue in the face.
So how does the Raven accomplish such non-stop action?
Some parks add trim brakes to their ride to slow them down in places. We don't do that. We think that if we've got a ride that's fun and has a great layout, the last thing in the world we're going to do is put trim brakes on it, because we want all that speed and all that excitement. We want to keep that.
The other magic ingredient contributing to the Raven's top 10 success, its natural setting. While most parks clear trees to make room for a new coaster, the Cook family asked ride makers, Custom Coasters of Cincinnati, Ohio, to preserve as many trees as possible.
Building it between the trees really increases the feeling of speed. It adds atmosphere to the ride, and it hides the ride so you can't see it from the surrounding area. So it's a surprise. When you get on the ride, you don't know where you're going. You come back into the station just going, wow. Discovery viewers rated the Raven number 5.
Dare to take a ride aboard the top-ranked Raven? Enjoy your front seat flight with George Isley.
Oh my gosh, here we go! Hold it up! Into the tunnel! Whoa. Excellent air time! You got excellent air time! And dropping
which top 10 coaster made amusement park history by becoming the first to exceed the 200-foot mark. Clinching the number 5 spot on our steel coaster category, Magnum XL 200, located at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Since 1870, Cedar Point has grown into a 364-acre amusement resort, offering more rides than any other park in the world, 68. Overlooking scenic Lake Erie, Cedar Point has earned the nickname of America's Roller Coast with its 15 roller coasters. Magnum XL 200 stands as one of its tallest.
Magnum is the top 10 coaster for the very reason that the popularity, it's been in existence here at Cedar Point since 1989, and every thrill seeker that comes to Cedar Point, that's one of the things that they have to do when they visit Cedar Point, just because it is one of the ultimate thrills.
This 72-mile-per-hour Cedar Point tradition has delivered more than 26.7 million rides since its opening.
The elements of Magnum that I really enjoy, the first hill is 205 feet, the drop is 195 feet at 60 degrees, which is almost straight down. The view from Magnum going over the hills when you're going along the lake is indescribable. The water is there. Sometimes people are on the beach and you come back and you see the same thing. I think there's 4 or 5 bunny hops for coming back in, so it's non-stop airtime until it actually stops and brings you back into the station.
By breaking the 200-foot barrier, Magnum, designed by Aerodynamics of Clearfield, Utah, created a new class of coaster called the Hyper Coaster. Hyper coasters typically feature extreme trampolines. Magnum measures more than 5,000 feet. Hypercoasters also follow an out-and-back configuration similar to classic wooden coasters. That means there aren't any inversions to flip riders upside down. Just tremendous hills, drops, speed, curves, and usually lots of airtime.
It's got the airtime going down the first hill, the airtime going up the second hill, down the second hill, into the tunnels. It's non-stop, the whole entire ride. That's what makes it one of the best, if not the best.
Magnum's popular hypercoaster design is why riders, especially those who may get intimidated by loops, hop in again and again for another run.
I've only ridden Magnum maybe 200 times in the last 3 years. I ride it as often as I can. I love it.
Joanne adores Magnum and Cedar Point, so much that she wears them on her shoulder as well as some other body parts.
And that's all I'm going to show you.
Showing you a good time aboard Magnum XL 200, here's Cedar Point Jump.
Here we go! Second hill is 157 feet! Air time! Down into the first tunnel, here we go! Third hill, 80 feet! My favorite part, the pretzel turn! Going about 72 miles an hour into a tunnel! Air time! Beautiful view of the beach of Lake Erie! More air time! And a bunny hill! And a tunnel! And there you have it, the Magnum XL 200 here at my heaven on earth, Cedar Point. Come on out and ride it!
Thrills, Chills, and Spills is brought to you in part by AT&T.
Our number 4 wooden coaster winner is considered one of the world's largest roller coasters. This massive scream machine looms 118 feet tall and shoots riders 56 miles per hour down a 108-foot first drop banked at a 51-degree angle. The challenges along its twisted 4,533-foot long track include 13 hills, 10 crossovers, 3 bridges, and 3 Gs, or gravitational forces, meaning riders will experience 3 times their body weight. Ghost Rider opened in 1998 at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California. The 75-year-old theme park wanted to add a wooden coaster to its thrill ride collection. Custom Coasters of Cincinnati, Ohio built them a winner.
It's fast, it's furious, it's got action. Everything about it just commands.
Because it has this combination of the old and the new. It gives you the old woody feeling, but it's better designed, I think, than the old one.
You're constantly diving in and out of the structure. You know, there's plenty of airtime, camelback heels, there's the helix, great first drop. You just feel like, you know, the wood's gonna hit you and you just kind of crouch down really quickly, but you know that you'll actually have plenty of room for you and the train to make it through.
Ghost Rider's unique design and energetic layout catapult it to the top.
I think the best thing about this ride, it just never gives up. There's constantly something going on, constantly something happening, and that's what makes it a great ride.
Now let's take a ride with Ghost Rider fanatic Rob Alvey.
Woo! All right, here we go. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Coming up over the first camelback with some great airtime. Amazing. Coming in the first turnaround, more airtime coming up there. And coming around a little bit of an S-turn drop. Down this drop, more airtime. And into a bank turn with lots of laterals. Here we go. Ready? Woo! Yeah, up out of your seat. And then coming up into what we call the scenic turn. Now here at the scenic turn, you get a great view of Knott's Berry Farm. You can see Soak City across the street. And now comes the best part of the ride, the drop. Here we go. Woo! Up into another turn. And here's where it gets crazy. Woo! More airtime than you could ever want. All over the place. Into the last turnaround. And we're going to come up into some other camelback hills. Woo! Up out of your seat again. Woo! All right, here's a nice pump airtime. Right into the helix. Yeah, round and round we go. More airtime coming out of the helix. And a nice pop right into the brake run. Here we go, everyone. Woo! Yeah. Now that's Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm. Definitely a top 10 ride. Woo!
Within 1 year of its opening, our next top 10 coaster skyrocketed to the number 4 spot on our steel coaster list.
Nitro is the best because of the height, the speed, and the airtime.
Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey unveiled Nitro in 2001. Its 230-foot blast-off is followed by a 215-foot dive back to Earth at hyperspeeds approaching 80 miles per hour. Swiss coaster designers Bolivar and Mabillard packed Nitro with ultra-intense elements that help absorb the energy of the ride. They include double highly banked horizontal loops, an S-curve, and a high-speed hammerhead. Nitro's dramatic and steep drops, 7 total, also offer ample opportunity for riders to enjoy some airtime.
Airtime is being lifted out of your seat. It feels like you're actually flying. It feels like you don't have like a lap bar. It just doesn't feel like you're in anything. It just feels like you're just flying in the air.
Riding Nitro is almost an indescribable feeling. It's incredibly free. You're very unrestricted in the car. There's just a little lap bar and a very comfortable seat. So it's very open. You can hold up your hands. You can stick out your legs. It's breathtaking.
Nitro's thrilling thrilling and dynamic ride keeps people coming back for more, like Gail Rios, who has ridden this top 10 coaster 30 times.
I'm just a baby at riding Nitro, but for 30 times, that's a good amount to start off with, and I just can't wait to get on it again. Here we go, 215 feet! Almost 200 feet, here we go! Our air time is great! Lifting off the sea! And we're going into a hammer! The air time! Oh my God! There we go! We're going into an Oscar! This is called a double helix! Woo! And it's not over yet! Woo! We're going into a bunny hop right now! The air time is great! I mean, you're totally off your seat! Oh my God! Woo! Oh, that was great! Every time you go on this ride, it's like you're going on for your first time. You have to come out here and ride Nitro here at Six Flags Great Adventure.
Next top 10 coaster is not the tallest, and it's not the fastest, but it just might be the most fun.
The best part about it is that it's a different coaster. The first thing you do is drop. Like, you come right out of the station, you go straight down. It's so cool.
This cool Scream Machine winning the #3 spot in the wooden coaster category? The Thunderbolt, located at Kennywood in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. This old-time trolley park offers family rides, classic amusements, water rides, extreme attractions, and 4 great roller coasters. The Thunderbolt plunges riders down its 95-foot first drop and races them through its 2,887-foot track at speeds reaching 55 miles per hour.
The turns are a little hairier on this than they are on a lot of other roller coasters, so banging from side to side adds an element to it.
The natural terrain also adds to the Thunderbolt's thrill quotient.
There's a big fear factor of where's this going. You can't tell where a lot of this coaster is because it's buried in the ravine, especially the last drop. When you come around and all of a sudden it's the longest drop of the ride. It's kind of a surprise. Roller coasters don't usually have their longest drop at the last drop.
What else makes this winning coaster so unique? The Thunderbolt's classic trains, made by the National Amusement Device Company, feature old-fashioned seats.
You definitely have to be friends with or be pretty close to your ride partner because there's no dividers in the seats.
Which guarantees you'll slide into each other around those curves. So you really gotta like or love the person seated next to you. That's why many riders call the Thunderbolt a great date coaster that they ride to get closer to their sweeties.
Thunderbolt is a traditional wooden coaster. Lots of noise, jostling around, and I think it makes you seem like you're going faster than you really are, and the thrill of, oh, is this thing, you know, going to hold together? It's so noisy, it's so screechy.
Now for a blast to the past, hop in with Aaron Schrader aboard Kennywood's famous Thunderbolt.
Let's ride.
We're going to drop about 95 feet and get up to speeds about 55 miles per hour. Really exciting coaster. It's one of everybody's favorites. This is also another ride where you gotta really like your partner because we're about to smash into each other. Woo! Here we go! Down a big hill! Oh yeah! Ah! This coaster was designed by John Miller and manufactured by Andrew Vettel in 1923. This section of the ride was redone in 1968, which makes the Thunderbolt that we see today. Oh, here we go. Down another big one. Arms up, everybody! Woo! Yeah! Get some good airtime on this ride, I'll tell you that. Okay, well, folks, last one. This is the Thunderbolt from Kennywood Cars. Hope you all get to enjoy it. Woo! Let's do it again.
Our number 2 steel coaster is actually a tie winner. To find out which coaster shares the title, we return to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. The thrill park and resort destination reached for the sky when it erected a $25 million screen machine called Millennium Force.
Cedar Point decided to build Millennium Force because we've always been known as a thrill seeker's paradise. We've always been noted for the place with the greatest roller coasters, the fastest, tallest, longest. And so clearly Millennium Force in the year 2000 was the roller coaster to once again make the statement that Cedar Point has the biggest and best roller coasters.
Cedar Point calls Millennium Force the world's first Giga Coaster. A Giga Coaster is an updated version of the Hyper Coaster, but measures about 100 feet higher.
The main reason why I think Millennium Force is a top 10 coaster is because it is an incredible 310 feet in the air. It drops you down 300 feet at an 80-degree angle, exceeding speeds of 93 miles per hour. And even at the end of the ride, you're still going 60.
Stopping at 60 to 0 miles per hour in 6 seconds is accomplished thanks to a magnetic braking system designed by the Swiss engineering firm Intamin. The coaster maker also fashioned the ride with an unconventional lift system versus the traditional chain lift.
Right out of the station, you go up the first hill, which also introduced the first cable lift system, the first in the world, in which you don't hear the clickety-clack that you usually hear on coasters.
Some riders have described the lift as eerily silent. If this lift doesn't unnerve you, well, there's always the plunge.
It's unbelievable. It feels like you're going to be thrown off. And then they also have the steepest non-inverted turn in the world. That's 122 degrees. And after that, they have a third hill, which is 182 feet. Which is taller than most coasters in the world, and that's Millennium Force's third hill. You have great airtime on those hills. It really feels like you've been lifted off your seat.
Contributing to that free-flying sensation are the Force's trains. They've been designed with open-air sides, and you won't find over-the-shoulder harness restraints.
Millennium Force is the type of roller coaster that was designed without putting any type of loops in it or any of those type of elements, so that you would have a traditional lap bar system and be able just to enjoy very intense speed and a high level of excitement.
Now let's take a high-speed ride with Millennium Maniac Stefan Leps.
Here we go! Down the best hill in the world! Ready? I love it. Awesome airtime. Down to the right. Here we go. Another turn. Fast.
Many of our top 10 coasters have shattered records, including speed and height. The number 2 wooden coaster proves no exception.
Son of Beast is the most exhilarating, intense wood coaster experience on the planet. It opened in the year 2000 and shattered world records. Son of Beast is the world's tallest at 218 feet. It's the world's fastest wooden coaster at nearly 80 miles an hour. And it's the world's only wooden looping roller coaster.
Son of Beast, located at Paramount's Kings Island near Cincinnati, Ohio, is the offspring of the park's legendary coaster, the Beast. The Beast has achieved fame and notoriety with its 20-year title as the world's longest wooden coaster at 7,400 feet. Son of Beast comes up just shy of its father at 7,032 feet long.
I feel that Son of Beast is a top 10 coaster because it produces an out-of-control, fun, fast, and thrilling experience. I believe the thing that impresses me the most about Son of Beast is just the magnificent structure. Just the fact that the time and effort was taken to create a roller coaster that is of epic proportions.
This colossal monster was built by the park and designed by coaster design veteran Werner Stengel of Germany. Its unique looping element presented the team with a formidable engineering challenge. Previous attempts in the early 1900s to design a loop in a wooden coaster failed, injuring riders' necks.
But Son of Beast was the first to introduce what is called a cathoid or teardrop-shaped wooden loop, which gives a sheer sensation of speed throughout the inversion that makes it very comfortable to the rider. On the average coaster experience, a roller coaster that will flip upside down goes through the inversion about 35 miles an hour, and on Son of Beast, to go through its 118-foot tall loop, the train actually roars at 62 miles an hour to keep you flipping upside down and in your seat and have a good time.
Son of Beast also differs from most steel looping coasters with its traditional lap bars instead of over-the-shoulder harness restraints. The loop admittedly brings out the daredevil in park guests, seeking to conquer this one-of-a-kind wooden coaster experience.
People like me like to ride roller coasters because we're insane.
I can't get enough of roller coasters!
We are addicted to the out-of-control feeling. We live lives every day like normal human beings, and on the weekends and on our off time, we like to lose control a little bit.
We're coming off the limb, and it's very loud. It's got that great Son of Beast roar. And here we are, the big drop, 214 feet straight down. Yeah! Now dropping 180 feet into the helix. This is a double helix, just like the Beast across the park. All right. Now we're heading to brake run to trim a little speed, because the best element is nearing us. We're coming up on the drop to the loop. Here we go! All right! Oh, man, that's incredible! We're now entering the second helix on the ride. Son of Beast has 2 helixes. Very intense. Now we got a couple of head shoppers coming up. Woo! And rocketing up over another drop. We got a great turn here. And then a little pop of air. Going up another hill. And we hit the brake. Oh, it's a great ride. Son of Beast, you gotta get here. Paramount's Kings Island. One of the best wooden coasters in the world. Woo!
This is not.
To find out which coaster ties Millennium Force for the #2 steel coaster spot, let's fly on over to Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California.
I really like the first drop.
The wonderful
first drop
255-foot drop
is one of the best on any coaster I've ever been on.
It is so smooth.
The tunnel is excellent. It seems like you're going to hit your head every time you go in.
And the speed.
The speed throughout the ride is amazing. The power.
One of the most powerful elements is the helix.
When you bank into those couple of turns at the end of the ride. I love roller coasters and I love Goliath.
Six Flags Magic Mountain opened Goliath in 2000. The Extreme Park is home to 15 coasters, big and small. It won Goliath to offer action-packed thrills. Yet to target a broad age group, it built Goliath without loops to avoid turning riders upside down. The extreme smoothness of the ride experience was designed by coaster makers Gio Vinola of Switzerland.
It uses a very unique polyurethane wheel that makes the ride so incredibly comfortable, yet still can maintain the 85 miles per hour intensity of a world-class thrill ride.
Gio Vinola also designed an open-air car with single lap bar restraints to enhance freedom of flight.
So not only are you 250 feet high, traveling around at 85 miles per hour, you are so far above the track and above the car that you have that unique sensation of nothing around you, yet it's controlled and you're safe and you're traveling at really high speeds.
It's kind of like you're just flying, and it's a lot of fun. Get your adrenaline pumping, get your energy up, and by the time the ride's over, you want to get it back on and do it again.
Here we go. Right down the first drop. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Up about 180 feet, up above the Once Mighty Colossus, and down once again. Woo! And here comes one of the best moments on the ride, airtime. Yeah, that hill is the best. Woo! And then we curve up again, up into the mid-course brake run where we get just a little breather, not much at all. And then we're diving down in the twister portion of Goliath. Woo! And we're about to go into my favorite part of this ride. It's the helix that pull about 4 Gs. You feel like you're about 4 times your weight right in here. Oh yeah, and it's so smooth. And it feels like you're about to hit the supports in this part here too. It's just amazing. You've got to ride this thing. So good. It's so comfortable. Speed is amazing, and that's Goliath here at Six Flags Magic Mountain. You've got to try this thing if you haven't. You've got to get to California. It's great. Woo!
Something's lurking in the backwoods of Ohio. It's big, bad, and beastly.
The Beast is a legendary monster that roars through 35 acres of woods at Kings Island. When it was built in 1979, the Beast opened as the tallest, fastest, longest wooden roller coaster in the world. And today it's still listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's longest wooden coaster at over 7,359 feet of twisted terrain, roaring track through the woods.
The one and only Beast is located at Paramount's Kings Island near Cincinnati, Ohio. This 364-acre park has more than enough land to house 2 monstrously sized top 10 coasters. Its son of Beast grabbed the #2 wooden coaster title. But it's the son's father that was voted the #1 wooden coaster in our top 10 survey.
For me, the Beast is the top 10 coaster because it's fast, it has a nice kind of roughness, it has a lot of tunnels, it's long, and I like the double helix.
I like it because of the route. I don't think there's any other roller coaster like it.
The Beast courses over and under the lush and hilly Ohio landscape, making optimal use of the natural terrain.
Hey, when you're flying through the woods at 55 miles an hour, you're just literally feet away from trees flying overhead and underneath and all around you to give you the sensation of sheer speed rip-roaring through the woods.
Collins, who is one of the principal designers of the Beast, really wanted to make sure there would never be another coaster like the Beast anywhere in the world, and the Beast has definitely lived up to that.
Get on this unique wooden roller coaster that will have you oohing and eyeing the whole time.
Ooh!
Ah!
And here we go!
Picking up more speed, we'll get up to around 70 miles an hour. And
here we go to the second tunnel!
We like to call this the rainbow tunnel. Now we'll pick up some more speed. Keep going through the countryside out here. Beautiful scenery. Yeah! Here we go. Now we're approaching the second chain hill. Now we have a little time to catch our breath as we go up the second hill here. Time to relax is over. Here we go.
Here we go!
Thrills, chills, and
To find out which coaster won the coveted #1 steel coaster title, let's venture down to Universal Orlando Resort in Florida. Here, ride enthusiasts agree
The Incredible Hulk is #1.
The Hulk is #1 coaster in my book because of all the inverts, the inverted loops, the G-forces that you experience on the ride from the very beginning to all the loops that you do all around it. It just keeps going right from the beginning. It keeps you pinned to the back of your seat, surprises you, quick backs, and just catches you off guard. And it doesn't stop anywhere after that. It just keeps going to the very end.
At Universal's Islands of Adventure theme park, coasters aren't just rides, they're characters with stories. The Incredible Hulk takes its name and inspiration from the famous Marvel comic superhero.
Well, to me, the appeal of a roller coaster is really when you can sync up the technology with the story, with a composition of moves that create what I like to call on Hulk as a heavy metal ballet.
Bringing the Incredible Hulk to life began years before its 1999 opening.
Throughout the development of the Hulk, there are literally thousands of drawings and sketches and details that are thought through the process of bringing a ride like this to life. If we put them all in this room, they would wallpaper the entire place, I'm sure.
Universal's creative team wanted their thrill ride environment to capture the essence of Dr. Bruce Banner's explosive metamorphosis into the Incredible Hulk.
As you walk through the experience, you circulate around the big gamut tube. You're introduced to the whole story of Bruce Banner's work. And as they get to the load platform, they're being loaded into the chamber, into the vehicle itself, which in effect is we're trying to simulate the idea of Bruce Banner loading himself into this chamber and exposing himself to the gamma rays. And it was really that moment, the transition between, when he was mild-mannered Bruce Banner and when he became the Hulk, that we wanted to capture in the experience.
That's what they've done with a 65-mile-per-hour launch, which relies on 220 aircraft tires, each driven by their own high-power electrical motor.
This is the nerve center of the Hulk coaster, deep underneath the main station. This is where we have things like the data acquisition system. This system uses lasers bounced off the coaster to measure very precisely its speed, feed that information to the launch control system, which drives via computer connection 220 separate motors, each with their own motor controller. All of these together create the force and the driving power to launch that coaster up the hill. The Incredible Hulk coaster, like the Hulk itself, is all about rage and uncontrolled energy and just unbridled power.
To create that power, the Hulk coaster needs its own dedicated power plant.
We generate on-site 8 megawatts of power to power the launch system. If we didn't do that, every time we launched the Hulk coaster, the city of Orlando would brown out.
The launch spins right into a zero-G gravity roll, followed by a series of 7 inversions. Swiss coaster designers Boiger and Mabillard also filled the Incredible Hulk with surprises like underground trenches and bridges. Matt Dweel invites you to enjoy your non-stop superhero adventure aboard our #1 rated steel coaster, the Incredible Hulk.
Here we go for an incredible start. Louder than insane takeoff. We go through a zero-G roll. Going straight down. Coming into the Culver roll. Straight up to a vertical roll. Right down into the tunnel. Coming back down around this carousel. Back into the corkscrew. Another vertical loop. That was a good one. That was a good turn right there. Yeah! Here's the first stop break. Oh, trick loop. Yeah! This is a good turn coming up right here. Good carousel. Oh, yeah! Yeah! That is the greatest ride! Yeah!
This year, more than 60 new coasters will open. What sort of top 10 coasters will Parks and Engineers introduce next?
It's amazing. When we built the Beast in 1979, everyone thought, oh my gosh, 135 feet, there's no way that anything ever would get taller and faster than the Beast. And of course, history has proved us all wrong.
They went to 200, now they're at plus 300. Where they go from here, it's unknown.
There's going to be no limits. What the people want is basically what we're going to get.
The future of roller coasters is anybody's guess. How fast something will go, how much technology will be developed, it's a matter of imagination and money.
Just when you think you've seen the latest and you think you've seen the most unique, wait till next year.
As guests continue to demand roller coaster experiences that deliver thrills and fun, more coasters will make it into personal top 10 lists, assuring the future of roller coasters in our lives.
Log on to vote for your favorite coasters online, only at Discovery.com. But stay tuned as Best of Discovery Week continues with more thrills, chills, and spills on Extreme Rides 2002.